Okay, we're working on the Vette some more. We went ahead and took off the targa top. I've never taken it off since I've owned the car. And I kind of wanted to see if there's something I can do about this saggy headliner, because it seems to rub my head when we're going down the road. And it mainly gets saggier after it rains. I don't know if it has anything to do with the moisture in the air. But I don't know if there's anything I can do with that. This is the part I'm talking about. It's all, you see how the fabric's loose? I'd like it just to be able to stay up there better. I don't know. I'll see if I can do something with it. See how it's just saggy? It's like the glue came undone from the fabric to the foam or something. I don't know. But anyway, this is the first time I've ever taken off the roof. And there's two up by the visor. This one and this one. And then there's four you need to remove by the back. And that's those four there. There's two there and there's two here. I've only got three. That's the way the car came. So what you do with those is here's where they come up. These are the ones that attach to the front of the roof panel. And these are the ones that attach to the back. Leave the one in the middle. Take the two on the edge off. Because when you put it back in, it sets back in here. There it is. That little rascal right there. This is the one that takes off the rear ones. Looks like a 30, the Torx head for these two. When you don't have a Torx head screwdriver, go ahead and try an Allen wrench that's around the same size. This one's a 5mm. Or 3. Oh, this one's a 5mm. The 5mm Allen wrench is the one that got these undone. So we're just doing some tinkering right now. Really wish I could make that headliner go up a little higher, but we'll see. I might mess with that here shortly. It's pretty much time to take a break. I've been tinkering with this thing all day. I'm mainly waiting for my instrument cluster to come back. That thing's expensive. So I'm waiting for that to come back. And once I get that back in, then I can go ahead and see if I can find a slight drain in the battery. There's something draining the battery slightly. And I need to locate that. And once I get to that, I'll show you how I do that. I just want all the little crap fixed on it. You know how that goes. I'd like to get new molding for this, but I don't think I'll be able to because it's pretty expensive, and gotta remember I'm building this thing on a budget. So we'll get this sealed up if we can. And hopefully it'll be pretty nice once we get it back together. And if you like cars a lot, go ahead and get one and put it on your wall. And if that's the car that you want, keep looking for it and one will come along. That's how I wound up with this one. So I'm trying for a Lamborghini next. But you gotta remember I'm on a beer budget. A Lamborghini is champagne. So we'll get back to working on this thing here in a minute. We now have our repaired dashboard. This is it right here. Cost me $500. Getting ready to install it. So we'll go ahead and get it installed, and then go ahead and test it. Now on to the next project. Okay, we have the dash installed. That's the new refurbished dash. So we've already tested it. We hooked up the battery, we turned on the key, and all the lights on the dash seem to work. So we're going to go ahead and put the rest of the trim panels back up, the kick panels back up, and then we'll go ahead and finish up what we were doing. Okay, I'm going to show you my attempt at repairing this headliner. This is the one with the saggy fabric. The headliner itself, which is the foam structure that holds this fabric, seems to be sealed to the top correctly. It's not sagging from there, it was just sagging from the fabric. So what we did was we went ahead and pulled this fabric back. And how you do that, just grab one of these, get down in behind there, lift it up a little bit, and then just gently pull the fabric off the foam, which is the headliner, and then just peel it back. You know, when you get along here, and if it stops pulling, then just stick this in there and wiggle it around like that, and then keep pulling, and it will come out without tearing if you don't do it fast. And you try not to do it too quickly. Then once you get that peeled back, I had it peeled back to about this far, because the sagging part was right here and right over here somewhere. So I just peeled it back until it quit sagging, which was somewhere right around in here. And I pulled the fabric back, and then I went ahead and got the loose pieces of foam that were in there, blew those out with compressed air, and then just made sure that everything was clean and smooth and easy, and then just pulled it back over there and flattened it. If you know how to make a bed, you can fix this headliner. What I did was I sprayed some glue on there, and the glue I used, Elmer's multi-purpose spray adhesive. You know, this stuff I picked up at the hardware store. First thing it says on there, after I got it home, said not recommended for use on vinyl materials or automotive headliners. And I think what they're talking about is where the foam part of the headliner, the structure that's holding this fabric, I think they're talking about from that to like the roof itself. So I went ahead and sprayed it on last night, tucked everything back in real nice with the blade I just showed you, and now everything's nice and smooth. There's no big old saggy, there's no big old droopy pieces of cloth. It's not drooping, it's not sagging down low. It feels nice and flush. So we're going to go ahead and install the roof, put the roof panel back on, and I think we actually made it to where it's going to be tolerable driving in there without the roof sagging on my head. Okay, we got all the trim panels back on the dash. All the nuts and bolts are back in. It's installed professionally and properly. So all we got to do is go ahead and get in it and drive it and see how things look. That's the roof panel we just repaired. We still have to paint the roof. And I'm just in a regular garage here, so I'm not going to go ahead and get the HVLP and the paint gun and the primer and all that stuff. I'm not going to do all that because it makes a big mess in the garage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock off the big chunks, and I'll take care of that a little bit later, and I'll get a video of that while I'm doing that. But we do have this headliner smoothed out now. Shouldn't sag anymore. We have it glued up there. We have it all tucked back in. So we're going to install the roof panel, and we'll prep the roof panel while it's on the car before we paint it. This is what we're painting it with. Aced Rust Stop Machine and Implement, weather resistant, prevents rust, seals and protects, John Deere yellow gloss. That's pretty close to the right color, don't you think? So that's how we're going to paint the roof. We're going to make it look as nice as we can. We got a whole can of paint here, so we'll probably use the whole can on the roof. And if this paint is as good as it says it is, it should look pretty good when we're done. That's pretty much a straight up match. So we're going to use this paint to fix this roof. And I'll get a video of that while we're prepping it and getting it ready for paint, and then after it's painted.